Premiere is great at a lot of things. Advanced graphics and compositing, it is not. So let's talk about a great way to make that round trip from Premiere to After Effects and back, and still have your sanity intact. I'm Andrew, this is Maleshko, and we're on a mission to be the most enjoyable creative production team to work with in Atlanta. Let's do this. So in the dark ages, also known as Final Cut 7 and before, if you wanted to use anything heavy graphics or compositing related, you did all of your work in your graphics program, exported it off as a video file, and then brought it back into your NLE. Then Adobe came along and said, you know, the dark sucks, and brought us into the light with Dynamic Link. Now, Dynamic Link is part of many programs in the Adobe suite. However, through it, you can bring an After Effects composition directly into a Premiere timeline, and if you save any changes in After Effects, it's linked dynamically, so the changes carry directly over into Premiere without you having to do a thing. It is by far the easiest way to go from Premiere to After Effects and back, which is great on paper. But in practice, you need to know the right ways to get Dynamic Link to work its best for you, and equally as important, when not to use Dynamic Link at all. For this video, we're just going to concentrate on bringing After Effects stuff into Premiere, which you can do a few different ways. First is just simply doing a file import. Find your After Effects project, import it, and you can bring a comp or comps into Premiere as a new clip in your project window. You can also, quite literally, drag an After Effects composition directly from its project window into Premiere's. This is definitely a way of doing this to get After Effects and Premiere talking, but you do you. The better way I've found comes directly from Premiere itself. When you identify a clip or clips in your timeline that need some After Effects love, you can select the clip or clips, right-click, and choose Replace with After Effects Composition. This will replace whatever you have selected with a flattened After Effects composition, which is added as a new clip to your project window, and you can immediately start motion graphicsing or compositing it up. All the graphic stuff you're seeing in this video actually uses this method, but there are a few best practices that you ought to know if you want to use this like a pro. First, get After Effects set up before you start. When you use Replace with an After Effects composition, it's either going to create a new After Effects project file if you don't have the program open, or it will use whatever After Effects project file is already open and add it to there. And unless you feel like having a bajillion project files scattered all over your computer every time you replace with After Effects composition, have a project file opened, saved to where you need it, and have it ready to go. That way, all of your assets get brought over to the After Effects project file where it needs to go. Second, remember when I said that your footage will be replaced by an After Effects composition? When that happens, it's a pain in the butt if you've got to make any changes to that section of your timeline because there's only that flat rosy pink After Effects composition in its place. Because your raw clips are gone from the timeline, you now have to go to After Effects to change anything. Best practice, select the clip or clips you need, click and drag while holding Alt or Option, drag them up your video tracks to an empty track, and release. This will create a copy of what's headed to After Effects so that now when you replace it with an After Effects comp, your work is preserved in Premiere underneath. Finally, in After Effects, something called guide layers may come in handy, mainly when doing motion graphics. It's a tool I'm routinely shocked that more people haven't heard of. If at all possible, you want to be able to handle just motion graphics in After Effects while all your clips, color, and audio stay in Premiere. There's some exceptions to this, but use the strengths of both programs to cover the other's weaknesses. So when you bring clips over into After Effects, all you really want to do is reference the existing clips in Premiere so that you can see what you're doing with your motion graphics, but still control your audio and video inside Premiere. Therefore, guide layers. Select your video and audio clips in After Effects, right-click, and then check Guide Layer. This makes those layers basically reference only. After Effects sees them fine and you can use them to do all of your After Effects work, but they will be invisible in Premiere, or if you export, those layers are now only guides, you've made them just for referencing. So all of your graphics are in your After Effects composition, and all your video and audio clips are still handled inside Premiere. Dynamic Link is great for lots of motion graphic and compositing work, but sometimes it's just best to use an exported file instead. Dynamic Link often requires timeline rendering, and if you save any changes, it will require re-rendering. Use your discretion, but there comes a point where your After Effects composition can get too heavy with effects and layers, and it's just easier to export off a video file of your graphics and compositing work into Premiere. The best way to handle this is to right-click on your After Effects comp in your Premiere timeline and select Render and Replace. Important thing to note, if your composition has transparency, where you can see layers underneath, also called an alpha channel, try using QuickTime Apple ProRes 4444. And if you do not have an alpha channel, QuickTime Apple ProRes 422 should work great. Another option with a few more clicks is to revert back to the dark ages, which still works. Export your comp directly from After Effects and then just import that file into Premiere using ProRes 422 or 4444. If you have that alpha channel transparency though, use ProRes 4444. And don't forget to change your channels from RGB to RGB plus alpha. This will limit your use of profanity when you try to import it into Premiere. And that's an introduction on how to use Adobe's Dynamic Link in Premiere and After Effects. If you've got questions, leave them in the comments, and be sure to subscribe to Maleshka for more editing tips like this, as we aim to be the most enjoyable creative production team to work with in Atlanta. See ya.